All right, welcome to episode 3 of Golficity Bets.
Skins.
Skins presented by Golficity Bets, of course.
Close.
It was close. It's a brand new show still. Last week we had Kevin Streelman, came in second, ended our streak of. We had him on the podcast. So I guess we didn't really talk about him on Skins, but we had him on the podcast. Ended our streak of like 2 straight winners. Trev's on fire. There's no other way around it.
I'm scorching hot.
The lineup wasn't great. I think it was kind of unfortunate that Brooks Koepka had to withdraw. I was very high on him. Most of our guys missed the cut by like 1 stroke, or they were right on the cut line.
They all missed the cut by 1 stroke.
I think they're all like -2.
No, but
Bubba Watson -3, Matt Fitzpatrick -2, Homa -2, Moore -3.
More -3. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was talking Pat Kenley and Answer made the cut.
Yeah,
They both getting T12.
Answer, talk about on fire. Answer's still on fire. I love Answer.
Yeah, he's not playing this week though.
No, unfortunately, I would pick Answer this week, honestly. Though.
Yeah. So hopefully we don't get as bad of luck with COVID and stuff this week. Hopefully it doesn't nobody withdraws in our lineup right after we published the episode.
We had
two guys withdraw. You had Koepka, and I had my long shot Cameron Champs withdrew. I'm
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's so tough right now.
It is. You don't know what's going to happen.
So you can mix and match if that happens. Stay tuned for the Instagram. We posted an update last week with Cantley.
Yep.
So our best bet last week, also a little tough.
Justin Thomas missed his first cut in a while.
I just see it on the dock. I see a big red nope.
Yeah. Justin Thomas, uncharacteristic week. He posted on Instagram that his strokes gain approach and his strokes gain putting or whatever the stats were, he was like 150th and 100
in the field,
or not 150th, whatever it was. He was like almost dead last in the field.
Wow. That's like a once in season type of week for Justin Thomas.
Maybe not even in a season.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like that, you never see that from Justin Thomas ever.
He goes
that bad, especially
one of
approach.
his tweets. Remember when he was like, "I'm in full beg mode right now," like on the.
Yeah.
He was like on his Twitter. He subtweeted that and he goes, "When you can't get a putt to drop, all the shots need to go in to help the score. One of those weeks. Always enjoy my time with the Travelers."
It's like you can tell he's just pissed. He's just pissed by how he played.
So my long shot actually did very well. Hovland becoming one of my guys. He was T11. Of course, he didn't win, but if you took him for any other bets, I'm sure he did very well. Homa missed the cut barely.
Yeah.
Even Cameron Champ withdrew.
Didn't play bad, and Cameron Champ withdrew. So, what are you gonna do? A little bit of bad luck. Let's get some good luck moving into the Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah.
We'll start it off. Victor Hovland at 10,000. I talked about this on the Pin High Pod. I'm really high on him this week. He was T11 last week, T13 in Detroit last year.
We all talked about it in the Pin High Pod.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah,
we all bet on
It's
him.
dangerous. It's honestly dangerous how high we are on Victor Hovland.
Yeah, every time we do that, it doesn't turn out too well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, here's the stats for you, the quick stats. 3 straight top 25 finishes. Led the Travelers field in strokes gained tee to green, and he was 3rd in strokes gained approach, which is, those are the stats you really love to see.
Approach.
Yeah.
Important. It's important.
Matching those two together.
Especially this week is important.
Matching those two together, all you need to do is make some putts, which he has struggled with doing, but, the more he works on it, the more he evolves as a player. I could see him running away with a tournament like this, especially where he can go so low.
Right.
So our second one, Rory Sabbatini, 8,800. He was T14 the Charles Schwab, T21 the Travelers. I was talking about on the Pin High Pod how I used to not be very high on him, but numbers don't lie. He's doing great this year.
Yeah.
A little bit of course history. He was T3 at the event last year, and even though it's only a 1-year-old event, that's not a bad thing. You can't knock the T3 finish last year.
That means a lot of guys who played this week haven't played this course. Like Patrick Reed and Webb Simpson, haven't played this course.
Correct.
Like
So
the big names have not been able to.
Right. You don't want to put too much stock into it, but
no.
It's like I said, it's not a bad thing. He's 24th in this field in strokes gained on par 5s over his last 50 rounds, and that's over that same period he's 18th in birdie opportunities. So we're really big on scoring this week. That's a big stat we looked at. If you guys are doing your own research, so we really like Rory Sabbatini this week.
Yeah, and just kind of going off of last year's finish, Doc Redman at 8,500. Finished in solo second last year. He's 17th in strokes gained approach. He was T11 last week, and he's 31st in par 4s gained. So just putting all those stats together and how he played there last year, and the salary is not a bad price for that. He should play well this week.
I also love Doc Reibman. He's
been playing really well, like just like kind of low key.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go with Brandt Snedeker, who I talked about in the pod as well. T5 last year, and one could say he's a Donald Ross specialist, which didn't go that great for us last time we picked a specialist of the courses.
Yep, Siwoo Kim didn't do great, but he's a better player.
Yeah, Snedeker's better player.
I think he's more reliable than Siwoo Kim. He's won at 3 Donald Ross courses and he finished T9 at Pinehurst during the U.S. Open in 2014. And he's top 25 in total strokes gained on Donald Ross courses in 2008. I looked at the list. Only guys that really are ahead of him in that list that are playing this week are like Ricky and Webb Simpson. And that's it.
And
like nobody else is ahead of him.
The thing about Brandt is you always know he's going to putt well.
Yeah, and it's a course.
He just needs to hit the ball well.
This is a course we need. Putting is very important here too, and obviously Brandt Snedeker is one of the best putters in the world. Like him and Jordan Spieth is like always like 1 and 2. So
can get hot.
If he gets hot at the putter, watch out. He can make a lot of noise.
Yeah. So speaking of good putters, Patrick Rodgers at 7,400. He's 11th in strokes gained putting this year. He was T14 at the Charles Schwab a couple weeks ago, and he's 2nd in total birdies on the tour. So at that value, a guy who could make birdies, I mean, that's pretty good to have.
Yeah, he's one of those guys I had on my radar this week because I just saw some interesting stats about him and how he's very good at putting. So I like him as well.
So our last pick, we'll go to Will Gordon. This is basically purely on riding the hot hand. He finished third last week. Birdie machine. He made so many birdies last week, and doesn't have much history in the PGA Tour in general. But he's played like 5 events and he's finished top 20 in all of them. Is that what
pretty much
was?
Yeah,
pretty much.
T21s is worth.
Yeah.
First,
but
there's not a ton of stats on him considering his PGA Tour profile on.
It's literally a Mackenzie Tour profile. Yeah. There's no PGA Tour profile.
Exactly, but we're riding the hot hand. I really like just prior history and like riding the hot hand into a course like Detroit Golf Club. It doesn't play very difficult. I'm into it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now we're going to go to Expose the Bookie, and we need to get one of these.
Yeah.
We're just struggling here.
No,
so
I love this one,
I went way off the radar this week for the Expose the Bookie, and I looked at to make the cut, miss the cut type of bets, and Joseph Bramlett to make the cut at -159. Now, like most of you probably don't even know that name because I didn't know that name when I was looking at it, but I looked him up just to see, and he's been playing some events on the Korn Ferry Tour. His last 2 events on the Korn Ferry Tour, he finished T2 at Sawgrass and T3 at the King and Bear Classic. And this course kind of plays similar to like a Korn Ferry course in my opinion, so that could be like a good pick this week. Also, he made the cut last week, so I mean, kind of hot making cuts, I guess. I don't even know how to like.
I mean, he's T41.
He was T41, but he made the cut.
Made the cut.
So he's 9 of 13 cuts this year on the PGA Tour, which is not that bad for Joseph Bramlett. He's made 5 of his last 6, so Joseph Bramlett to make the cut.
That's just an interesting one. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go to our long shots of the week. We already went over last week's. Mine this week, Keegan Bradley. He's really good off the tee. He's a good ball striker. It's another one of those guys. He's just not very good with the putter, but at a course like this, not very difficult. I bet you can get hot, and at 100 to 1, why not? He's one of those guys that just sneaks in sometimes into a golf tournament,
Right. Yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna go with Chris Kirk at 125 to 1. He won a couple weeks ago on the Korn Ferry Tour. The course actually is like almost the same yardage. I mean, obviously that doesn't really make a whole much like it. I mean, the course is different. Obviously, he played in Florida when he won, but like 7,300 yards. I don't know, similar. It was kind of a random pick in my opinion. I don't know. I kind of like the value there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Wesley Bryan at plus 22,500.
That's like
super low.
As long as a long shot gets.
Super low.
Jeez.
And if you look at he's only played 2 events since the break. His last 2 events, he went T68 and T24. So if you're counting at home, he's on track to do better this week again.
He's newly a Rhoback guy.
He's a Rhoback. Yeah, he is a Rhoback guy. You're right. He's come back. He played. I think he's been injured for a while. He's finally back on tour for a little bit. Like he's won on tour before, and that's so low. Like people know who he is because he's like one of the Bryan brothers for golf.
Right.
That's so low, and like who knows? It might be like we talked about earlier. It might be a random winner this week, or there's more of a chance for a random winner this week
just because of the
field.
Right.
So someone like that, You know who he is. Maybe he has a great week. He's playing a little better every week. So who knows?
Right.
All right, and then
could happen.
First round leader. We kind of said this on the podcast too, so check it out. There'll be more stats on there. But we're gonna go Scotty Scheffler. I guess the main stat that I'll go with is that round 1 scoring. He's fourth behind Bryson, Rory, and Cantlay, who are all top 15 players in the world. So Scotty Scheffler at plus 4,500.
Yep. Hopefully we'll get one of those. Last week it was Jordan Spieth. Who, Mackenzie Hughes was at 10 under after the first round, so you weren't going to really get that one.
Yeah. If you want more, stats on that, check out the Pin High podcast. There's a lot of interesting stats on him being a first round leader, and we really like that bet this week.
Yep. So enter the DFS lineup. Hopefully next week. Hopefully we'll make some money. And next week we'll see you at Muirfield Village.